ISIS said to have lost key oil fields in the region of Iraq, having been pushed back by the Iraqi government in coordination with Iran. ISIS has lost significant revenue as a result of this undertaking. Fighters from the Lebanese Hezbollah resistant movement have pounded a base run by the group they call ISIS in Syria's mountainous region, having lobbed 3 rockets at the base and destroying it. Al-Nusra, funded through Saudi Arabia, the Gulf Arab Emirates, so-called Israel, in conjunction with the U.S. interests and British behind the scenes, has been preparing to strike Bashar Assad's stronghold in a 2-pronged system in coordination with ISIS. Al-Nusra has conventionally been viewed as ISIS's enemy, yet only to divide the groups and make them work harder at the goal. Some al-Nusra brigades in South Syria have personal connections with ISIS leaders. The ISIS advance in Yarmouk pushed the al-Nusra brigades that are sympathetic to ISIS to help it on the ground. The attack also forced the al-Nusra brigades opposed to ISIS to stay out of the battle. Rival groups see in the Yarmouk scenario an opportunity to reassert themselves in the face of al-Nusra. Al-Nusra is now working on creating a joint civilian-military administration similar to the model offered by the FSA, who has been effectively destroyed. Sweden has sent troops to Iraq to support the fight against the group they call the Islamic State. Congressmen are reporting that the ISIS defeat must be political. The Iraqi army is said to have put down their weapons and went home because they lost faith in the sectarian government. The ISIS was branded Sunni so as to dishearten the hirelings and to allow the transfer of the weapons into the terrorist hands. The U.S., with the backings of the British imperial interests, wants to build the government in Iraq that the people can trust. However, they have not established that at home. The push now is to bring ISIS into further territories: Yemen, Libya, Sudan, Mali, Algeria, and into parts of Africa. ISIS is a direct counter to all of apocalyptic faith. ISIS is also a cover to implement digitalization to create safeguards against so-called lone wolves, dissenters of a British rule of law. ISIS is said to begin recruiting jihadists in the Taliban region of Afghanistan. Flags were purposely made as to look authentic and have not been manufactured by the foreign interventionists. Afghanistan has $3 trillion in rare earth minerals that are used in smartphones. During the battle in Iraq, Iraqi army commanders said publicly they needed the U.S. Air Force to intervene. The Shiite militia protested. Most of the Shiite militias left the battlefield and the U.S. started bombing ISIS. The U.S. military said they conditioned their involvement with the withdrawal of the Shiite militias. However, several top commanders in the Shiite militia have stated some of their best fighters were killed during that fight. The Battle of Tikrit. Canada has met its obligation to the Queen, having bombed several infrastructure strongholds in Syria with the final objective of toppling Bashar Assad, the elected ruler of Syria. This mission to serve as a test, a provocation to see what kind of defense security measurements Bashar Assad has in place.